What's up, guys? Welcome back to another podcast. It is your boy Sweet, and welcome to the Crayon Rocket Podcast. So, today we're going to do some topics, right? Just like anything else. So, it's going to kind of just relate to a lot of just different things. But we're going to start and kick off the podcast with they have these kids interview kind of like Dr. Fossey, ask them COVID-19 questions. So we're going to kind of just see what they say about it. I hope that y'all have been enjoying the content. Some big things coming to this podcast along with the other podcasts. So just really just a lot, right? Just a lot of stuff. It's going to be amazing. I promise you, nothing to worry about at all. And we got 2 interviews lined up for this podcast. We got a few lined up for the Christian hip hop pod. Bro, things are just going good this year, bro. They're just going good this year. I mean, I can't complain, right? Everything is going good. Praise God. Everything is going according to plan. So why would we not be doing good? So we're going to jump into this. It is hold on. If it actually wants to work. Cool. Yeah, so we're going to jump into this. Dr. Fossey being interviewed by some kids. Oh, New Mexico kids. Okay, even better. So let's go.
Questions about the coronavirus, the vaccine, and when their lives might get back to normal. And who better to answer those questions than Dr. Anthony Fauci? News 13's Francesca Washington is here with details.
Kids I spoke with today tell me after their 20-minute interview with Dr. Fauci, he eased a lot of their fears about COVID-19.
Why is everybody scared of COVID-19?
How long can a kid be asymptomatic with the virus and transmit it to others?
This month, 12 New Mexico kids got their COVID questions answered by a very reliable source.
I mean, it's Fauci. He's awesome.
Director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, Dr. Anthony Fauci spent 20 minutes being interviewed for a nationally syndicated public radio show and podcast, The Children's Hour.
And it can be a serious disease, but we don't want you to be worried about it or scared about it.
Producer Katie Stone's group, The Kids Crew, puts together the weekly children's show that airs nationally. She says for the interview with Dr. Fauci, the kids came up with the questions all on their own.
Usually because it's adults asking the questions, it's all these things that adults want to know about, but kids never really get to ask questions that matter to them.
Questions like,
when will we go back to school? When will I see my friends again? When will I be able to see my grandparents?
The kids describe Dr. Fauci as a grandfather figure who put their minds at ease.
Just really made me a lot more hopeful and a lot less scared.
And Stone hopes the episode will provide the same comfort to all the children who tune in.
I think it's really important we remember that kids need that comfort and they need to feel like things are going to be okay.
The kids also interviewed New Mexico's Public Education Secretary Ryan Stewart. The hour-long show will air tomorrow morning at 9 on public radio stations like KUNM and live streamed on the Children's Hour website. Back to you.
All right, pretty cool interview there. Thanks, Francesca.
Okay, that's cool. You know, giving the kids a platform, right? Giving the kids a platform. So, like, that's really cool. You know, I mean, we're in that day and age where this is what's going on, right? This is what's big. This is what is really impacting a lot of people, right? Giving the power to the kids, like, I understand some people are like, the kids. But, like these kids are saying, you know, their questions being answered kind of put a lot of ease on their mind, right? So, of course, it's going to, you know, it's going to take away that fear factor a little bit, right? It's going to make them feel a little bit more comfortable going back to school, chilling with their friends and being like, okay, everything, you know what, might be good again. It might just be good again, right? So if anything, you know, to kind of provide some comfort and some, you know, peace of mind for, you know, the children, like, I'm all for it, right? You know, really cool that Dr. Fossey, however you say it, decided to go and be like, yeah, you know what? I'll go on your guys' show. I will let these, kids interview me. Like, that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't oppose against that, And then even the secretary of, thing, her or the person going on there too. Like, that's really good too. I mean, these adults being like, know what, let me go ahead and, let me be part of this. Let me interact with these kids. Let me talk to these kids. Let me answer whatever questions that they have, right? That's the crucial part, because we're like, okay, you know what, they're just kids. Like, why is it really that important? And we're just like, it's whatever. It should not just be whatever. Like, this is their peace of mind. This is what's going to make them feel a little bit better, right? Because we can't really say that every, parent or anyone that's in these kids' lives are taking away that fear, because they might just be listening to the news and they're just scared, and no matter what their parents, but see, then this is a, expert, and he's talking about it, and it's like, okay, you know what, he knows what he's talking about. We got that peace of mind. He answered our questions. We feel better, right? We're ready to, really go back into, really, just going back into school and just like feeling like, okay, I don't feel like I'm just gonna be afraid to go back. Now I feel like, okay, this is good. I feel a lot better now, right? I feel a lot better now. So I'm thinking that's great. I'm so glad that he went and did that, and I'm glad that there's a platform for kids to be able to express their opinions, talk about things, and stuff like that, because we see it with adults, we see it, even maybe with teens, but we don't see it with kids, because we're just like, they're kids. What do they got to contribute? What kind of questions do they have that's that important? And we're just like, it's whatever, right? But it should not be that mindset of, it's just whatever, because, like I said, these kids are our future. We should be taking care of them to the best of our abilities, and if we're not, then, like, what are we really doing, right? So we're going to jump into the next topic. The city's electric bus service begins Saturday. Okay, and that's today as I'm recording this, so I guess it started today. But yeah, okay, that's really cool. I like that. Let me make that a little bit smaller. Yeah, cool. Let's go ahead and jump into it, y'all. Let go.
The city is on track to fulfill its renewable energy goals with the help of electric buses. The city's addition is this 40-foot electric bus. It holds 37 passengers. It will begin service tomorrow. The bus will run the 66 route along Central, but officials plan to run other routes as well to test its battery life. They anticipate it'll be 150 to 175 miles a day.
We want to check and see how it does on terrain, how it does with the full load, how it does with different temperatures going up and downhill, things like that. So we're going to do a lot of testing over the course of the next year.
The city plans to purchase 5 more buses and have them all running by the end of the year. Each bus costs nearly $1 million. They're being paid for with grant money.
Okay. So the one thing that I will say is, like, this whole art thing, this whole art project with the buses and stuff, to me it was like a waste of money. Don't really know if it's like really that useful for the people actually riding the bus. I haven't rode a bus. You know what? Like, beginning of last year when, a lot of things just happened and I just didn't have a car. So I did ride a bus for like a month or so. But before that, like years ago, I used to ride the bus all the time from my jobs and just to go places, to go to church, all these different things. And I would always be coming home super late, like 10 o'clock, probably when the last bus is actually getting to the destination. That's usually me on that bus, right? But yeah, so let's see if this electric bus is actually going to be good, because I honestly just don't know. I don't know if it's going to be, useful. I don't know if it's going to be, like, really good. I mean, yeah, they're testing it, so let's see. If it's gonna save energy or gas or whatever along the line, then that's cool. I'm glad. But the thing is, what if y'all just poured all this money into these buses? $1 million a bus, $1 million a bus, and what if it just doesn't work? What if it's a dud? What if it just fails? Like, then that's a waste of money, right? It's a waste of money. I understand going green and everything like that. I understand it, but like, y'all like wasted so much time with the art project. Now you got these electric buses, but are they actually gonna do good? I mean, I don't know. Like, I hope so. I mean, I don't know how much the regular bus holds capacity of like people and stuff, but I mean, I guess we can only hope that it does good and that whatever take that they have on it, it just runs smoothly. We don't have to worry about nothing. It's just like, okay, cool. We got it. It's working. No issues, none of that. So we're going to jump into the next topic. Shotgun wielding woman arrested after threatening to shoot people in Northeast Albuquerque. This ain't really that new. Like, we see crazy stuff like this all the time. So, you know what? Let's just go ahead and get into it. We know people are just crazy in Albuquerque. Probably in other places too, but...
Woman who police say was wielding a shotgun and threatening to shoot people is behind bars. It happened last night near San Mateo and Montgomery.
Well, at least she's behind bars.
Police say they received multiple calls about a woman identified as Brandy Allen threatening to shoot people in the area. And police received calls from her own family saying there had been a fight with her and she threatened them with the loaded gun. In the end, no one was hurt.
Okay, well, no, but I am glad that nobody was hurt, right? I'm glad that no one was hurt. But man, like, she seemed young. She didn't seem like she was really on drugs or anything. So, like, I mean, it didn't seem like she crazy. But, I mean, you just never know. Like, some people could just put up a front and stuff like that. And sometimes looks could just deceive you. But, man, like, argument and you threatening everybody with a shotgun. You threatening everybody with a shotgun. Bro, like, oh, man. I mean, I see people, like, acting upon all these, like, different things. Like, they just, like, oh, let me just act in violence. All these different things, bro. And it's like, is it that hard to kind of try to think before you act, right? I mean, I know I ain't perfect at all, but it's just like, come on, y'all. Like, what is the whole purpose of this? Because y'all are just like, I don't know. But man, come on, y'all. Come on, bro. Like, this should not be like an issue, like, whatsoever. It should not. But man, okay, what kind of purpose were you trying to make? What kind of, statement you trying to make by just wielding a shotgun, acting a fool, pointing at everybody, threatening everyone, right? I'm glad that nobody got shot. I'm glad that no one got killed or hurt or anything like that. And I'm glad that she's behind bars. But it's like, in her mind, right? In her mind, what made her think, oh, know what? This is a good idea. Let me just go ahead and, like, let me just have a shotgun and start aiming at. It just don't make no sense, right? It just don't make no sense. And it's like, okay, what's the whole purpose of you having a shotgun aiming at? It just, yeah, I don't know. I'm just a little baffled at that because, if I'm angry or I just don't get my way or whatever, I'm not going to be like, let me just start holding a shotgun to everybody and be like, that's a solution to everything, because it's not. Man, bro, people are just crazy, bro. I don't know what was going on through her mind that she was like, know what? I think it might just be a good idea to go ahead and just start holding a gun to everybody, right? What on earth did the person think, oh, no, what? That's a good idea. What if, she would have shot somebody? What if in her wrong state of mind that she was like, know what? Let me just go ahead and, let me just unload a clip and let me just unload a shot, right? What if, accidentally pulls the trigger? What if, you kill someone you care? What if, right? What if you did that? What if you now just ruined your whole life? You in prison for the rest of your life. You just ruined it in a split second, right? You just ruined it in a split second. It just don't make no sense, right? People are always over here like, okay, this, that, blah, blah, blah. Bro, all I could say, I'm gonna try to be a lot more positive on my podcast instead of just like belittling people. But to the young woman though, think about it like this. You got lucky. You got lucky that you did not hurt nobody, that no one got hurt, no one got killed. Yes, you're in jail now, right? But this is an opportunity to think, okay, you know what? What I did was foolish. I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I didn't let a shot go. Glad no one got hurt. I'm glad no one got killed. But what can I do? What can I do next time, right? To be better, to not go and do something so foolish, because luck may not be on your side next time, right? Luck may not be on your side next time, and know what? Something tragic might happen. This is an opportunity for you, young lady, to go and look at the situation, be like, know what? I handled that very, very poorly. But know what? Next time when I'm angry, I'm gonna get the step in. I'm gonna go for a walk. I'm gonna go clear my mind. I'm gonna come back, then assess the situation, right? Whatever it is, you do not need to go and grab the shotgun and start aiming at people and start just going crazy, right? That's not a solution. That's not gonna get you nowhere besides behind bars again, and probably for a lot longer time. You don't want to do that at all. I hope that the person can learn from her mistakes and kind of just do better, right? So next topic. City of Albuquerque seeking creative professionals to submit content for public access channels. That seems pretty interesting. Probably not qualified for that, so I probably won't be able to do that. But, it's a cool concept. Let's see what they got to say, bro.
Albuquerque is looking for new content for its public access channels. The Cultural Services Department is asking people to submit ideas for original and engaging content. They're asking it be ready to air and stream on the city's public access channels, social media, and other platforms. They're looking specifically for storytelling or educational content. The deadline to submit is February 12th.
Okay, no, that's cool. Give an opportunity to people, right? Give an opportunity to people to kind of submit some ideas, submit some content, right? You know what? I might actually just, I'm going to take a gamble at it, right? I'm going to take a gamble. I'm going to be like, hey, I do this. I do, these motivational videos. I do the social commentary on the news, right? On these news stories. I try to put a positive outlook on a city that just seems very hopeless, on a city that just seems kind of just lost at the moment, right? So, of course, I'm going to be like, hey, I'm going to just throw my hat in there. Be like, hey, this is what I do. You could check out the channel. I know I'm not that big. I know probably no one knows me. But know what? Look what I'm doing. Like, I don't know if there's a lot of other people in Albuquerque even doing this. But if they're looking for local professionals to do this, look at me. I'm doing something, right? I'm putting out content, usually daily. It's like 5 days a week. I'm putting out 2-3 videos out a day, right? I'm putting in the work. I'm putting in the grind. I'm trying to get better. Eventually, I'm going to upgrade the equipment, right? I'm going to upgrade, the background a lot more. I'm going to do all these different things so it looks super professional, right? But I'm only starting out, so of course I'm not going to be able to be perfect right now. I'm not. It's just not going to happen right at this moment, right? But with me grinding, with me putting the hard work, with me, really putting my heart and soul into this and doing everything that I can, right? Of course, I'm going to get there. I promise you that, right? I'm going to get there. So, of course, I'm going to throw my name into this. Why? Because, it's a great opportunity. Right? If you don't take chances, then these chances ain't just going to pop up on you. It's not going to be like, oh, cool, I got the opportunity. Yay. Right? It's just not that. So of course I'm gonna throw my name in there and be like, hey, this is what I do. Here's some references. Like, do what I gotta, you know, and just see. You know, if they don't, that's totally fine. Like, I'm not gonna be able to just like be blessed with the opportunity overnight. You know, maybe I will, maybe I won't. It's all God's timing, all God's plan, right? But you know, of course, like, look, if I don't take a shot, then what am I doing, right? You know, when I'm trying to, you know, get interviews, you know, or be like, hey, I'm going to do this or whatever, you know, I'm taking chances, you know. Years ago, I didn't have the support system that I do now to really take those chances. Now I do. You know, I have my beautiful fiance that's like always like, yeah, go do it. Do what you need to do. You know, I support you. I'm your biggest fan, right? I'm always watching your videos. That's important, right? You know, all these different, yeah, man, yeah. Let's go. I'm gonna do it, man. I'm gonna do it. So we're gonna jump into the next one. This is the last video of the podcast. APD provides update on recent homicides. So we're gonna talk about that. You know, like I was saying, you know, we're just in an era of where we're just really, you know, seeing, you know, a lot of hopelessness right now. Right, just a lot of hopelessness. So let's go ahead and just jump into this. Spike in violence is what the thumbnail thing shows. Okay.
Since the start of the year, actually over the last 3 weeks, and the most recent was last night after 2 women were found shot to death. Today, APD spoke out about the recent spike in violence. News 13's Stephanie Chavez is live downtown at APD headquarters with more.
Kim, APD's interim police chief says most of these cases have one thing in common: drugs.
Since last year, one of the trends we're seeing.
Well, that's definitely one of the biggest issues in Albuquerque or New Mexico. Drugs, yeah.
Is narcotics dealers are actually the victims that are going to locations and actually are ending up being robbed. So there is a nexus, and narcotics is definitely one, not the only, but one of the nexuses that we're seeing.
APD responded around 10 last night to the Jefferson Crossing apartments on Montgomery near Jefferson and found 2 women shot and killed. A man who was also shot was taken to the hospital. That scene was just the latest APD has responded to in the last few weeks. Of the city's 13 homicide, APD says 1 is the result of a domestic dispute, and charges have been filed against the suspect in that case. Police say they believe the murder on January 9th at the La Quinta Hotel off I-25 in San Antonio was justifiable, while a third death earlier this week near Paseo del Norte in San Pedro is now being ruled a suicide. While charges have only been filed in 1 of the 13 homicide cases, APD says they have identified suspects related to 6 other cases.
Our goal is to create a strong case, not a case that we're going to have problems prosecuting later.
APD says the status of a case can change depending on what detectives find during the investigation. They say 1 more of these cases is still under investigation and could be considered justifiable, but detectives, again, are still investigating. Back to you.
Okay, thanks, Stephanie. Now, APD says this time last year there were 8 homicides.
Dang. So definitely a spike, right? Because around this time last year, right, they said there was only 8. So looking at it now on this year, 2021, it's 13. So it's up 5 so far. Right? And like they said, most of, a good portion of it has to do with drugs and the actual drug dealers getting, you know, killed and stuff like that over drugs. Well, this is showing the criminals and everything like that, you know, in Albuquerque, and like these guys, these druggies or the drug addicts, right? They're going to these extremes to go and kill these guys for their drugs, right? Whether it's even that or even, you know, a bad drug move or drug, you know, purchase or whatever, and, you know, maybe it's, you know, the higher up killing these guys. We don't know, right? All I know is, like, I've been kind of around that just because of family members. So, like, I kind of just hear the ins and outs of it. And a lot of them just, they will backstab each other. There is no honor among thieves, right? No honor among thieves. So, you know, You cross the line with one of them. Some of them will give you a couple chances if you're lucky. Some they just gonna off you, right? So I mean, that's what I think. That's what we're seeing here is, some of them might just be getting crossed, right? Some of them might just be doing some dirty stuff under. They might be a little shady, and the bigger ups, they're just offing them off, right? They're just killing them. Or maybe it's just the drug addicts, the ones that are getting the drugs, they're just so desperate that they're willing to do what they need, what they feel like they have to do to get that drug. Right? That's the sad thing, right? Is like, oh man, like, what's going on? Man, look at what's happening around us. All these different things, right? Homicides are already up. There's one suicide case so far. It's like, see, the world that we're living in is so broken, right? There's so much corruption. There's so much evil. There's so much hopelessness around us that it's like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Because, man, I'm just seeing it all the time. It's like, come on, man. Come on. Like, I don't want to see this no more. Like, I just don't, bro. I just don't. And we're just seeing it from time and time again, And, man, this drug pandemic is something that they ain't trying to find a solution for, to be honest. And maybe they are, and it takes time. I don't know. But, man, this is something that's just going on for far too long, bro. It's just going on for far too long. But, yeah, you know what? I hope that y'all enjoy the podcast. Like I said, I'm trying to be a little bit more positive. I'm going to try to give a little bit more of a positive outtake instead of just talking about it and belittling people. But I appreciate it. Without further ado, I'm going to have to bid you adieu. And you know what? I would appreciate it if you would subscribe to. And until next time, salute.